Alright guys, how's everybody doing today? Here's what's on the bench today. It's a Fender Telecaster. This is the made in Mexico Z9. So this is a 2009 and this is the Roadworn series. So all this relicking and everything on the neck here, Roadworn series, right? And this is pretty much the guitar that started the whole entire relicking thing. I've got one on the bench. We're going to restring it. Alright, so I got my new string winder. Woo! And I donated the other one to I gave it to a friend of mine named Chuck. So Chuck's got the old one. He's going to take it apart and see if he can glue it back together so that it's nice and tight. And he's an engineer type of guy. He might be able to fix it up nicely. So yeah, the Fender Roadworn series, and I remember when these came out. And they had that cool factor about it. But they also had that, you know, that thing going on where you're like, wait a minute, man. If you want an old telly, you have to take your telly out on the road and you have to play gigs with it for 10 or 20 years. And then you will have a real road-worn telly. So this was kind of like being a poser. And, but, you know, there's that. You're a poser if you have one of these things. This didn't happen because you were out on the road playing tons of shows and doing all that kind of stuff. This happened because the factory made it look like this. Are you a poser for playing one of these? You know, there is that argument. But honestly, guys, you guys all know you want one of these things. So you got a lot of relicking going on up here at the first fret. Right here under the A string. Nobody's really in this neighborhood very often. So it seems weird that it would be relicked here. And then when you get down here to the 10th fret, 9th fret, it's nice and clean. So obviously they never played in the second A minor pentatonic box right here. And then starting here, you know, it starts too. And I can kind of understand this because if you're right here in this position, right, you're kind of in there. So the relicking on the neck was a kind of weird where it was questionable. Like, I don't know how often you are up here on this high G note right here where that would need to be relicked underneath that. So anyhow, the point I'm trying to make is sometimes the wear pattern on these necks seemed a little weird. Today's string choice. Super slinky 9 through 42s. This guitar had 10s on it. I'm going to go back and put some 9s on it. I enjoy playing these guitars before I sell them. And so I want to strum this thing a little bit. And it's a fun part of being in a guitar shop is you get to experiment a little bit with each guitar and see if you like them and all that kind of stuff. You get to play things. So that makes my job a lot of fun. These guitars are holding their value really good for a made in Mexico guitar. And I think they were, I'm guessing now guys, but in 2008, 2009, were these things $599 maybe? Let me know in the comments. But I think this was only maybe a $600 or $700 guitar when it was new. And they're bringing more than that now. Guys are asking like $1,000 for them and stuff. And then we're even seeing them where guys are selling the necks alone. And guys are asking $350, $400 for just the necks off of these things. So they have held their value really, really good. This one does have a Seymour Duncan pickup in it. So somebody did some modifications to it before I got my hands on it. I've only had the guitar a couple of weeks now. There was no need in polishing the frets on this one today. The frets look really good. No fret sprout. I mean, the condition of the guitar is really good for a relic guitar. You know, and that's one thing. One reason that they hold their value is because if you accidentally put a little dent on this guitar, it's not going to make any difference. You get yourself a brand new key sole or something with custom paint, or a really nice brand new USA Strat or a Les Paul or something, a nice shiny guitar, you know, you put one scratch on it, the value of the guitar plummets 30% off because it's got one little scratch on it or a little dent. Well, with these things, you have no worries. So yeah, they hold their value. I was happy to get my hands on this one. Just for the fun factor. It's not always about making a ton of money flipping guitars. I do what I can to stay in business. Right? But I enjoy the whole thing too. Got a lot of guitars recently. More restring videos coming up. I've got, you know, probably at least a dozen guitars sitting here that I've purchased over the last couple of months that are all waiting to have a video done. I got some Carvin guitars recently, and I got a lot of those Japanese, older Japanese guitars, like a few more Fernandez and a Greco and a few things like that. Yeah, so lots of video content coming up, and showing you the new inventory that comes in. You know, the back of this neck, I love how it feels. And it's reliced all the way up into here. And this is the kind of neck that I enjoy playing. It's kind of chunky, so it's not a real thin neck. Modern C shape, I'm gonna guess, but maybe a little bit thicker. So let's stretch these out a little bit and we'll tune this up. So yes, lots of video content coming up. If you guys are interested in watching all this stuff, make sure you hit that subscribe button for me so you don't miss out on any of them. Try to do 3 or 4 videos a week. Sometimes I get busy and I don't get around to doing. If there's a lot of customers in the store, it's hard to stand back here and talk to the camera and make a video. But right now, seeing how it's a Monday, President's Day 2023, I have a little extra time here today, this morning. Although I did already sell a Ibanez, the Tube Screamer 15 watt amp, right, that has the built-in Tube Screamer circuit. So I sold an amp already today, and had a really fun band practice yesterday. Played a gig Friday night in Los Angeles. Drove home, made it to work on Saturday, and then had a good long band practice on Sunday night. So I'm playing in a band, restringing guitars. Life is good right now. And that door chime that you just heard was a customer walking in the front door. So I'm going to get back at it. But thank you guys for watching. Everybody like, subscribe. I got a Patreon account. Check out my affiliate links in the description below. Do all that fun stuff for me. Okay, guys? Thank you. Have a great day. Go buy a guitar.